Join me as I dive into one of the most difficult things for you to accomplish for your student athlete, which is to receive a Division One scholarship. And I won't even just say Division One, but a scholarship at any division is going to be very, very valuable, but very, very difficult to achieve. So today's framework is going to be very simple. I'm going to give you 3 areas that you need to focus on in order to increase the chances of your student athlete getting that full ride scholarship. So parents, I need you to tap in. I need you to take some notes, and we're going to get right into it, and I'm going to help you accomplish the goal of a full ride scholarship. So number one, the first thing that we want to focus on when it comes to our athlete journey, the number one thing is your athlete needs to build a brand. Now, the reason this is important is not just because of NIL and different things like that, but I really want you guys to focus on building a brand because this is going to be a great starting point, especially for your younger athletes, middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade, just kind of getting started, getting the ball rolling. If you focus on building a brand, it's going to do a couple things. Number one, it's actually going to help your student athletes stay in alignment. So now if they're on social media, they're not going to be on there watching videos and things that they shouldn't be watching. They're going to be on there watching things that, are about their sport, training, nutrition, stuff like that. Then they're also not going to be posting any crazy stuff because we're talking about brand. And if they want to have a successful brand, then they're going to have to post things that make sense. Post their training, their workout, their practice, the pregame, the postgame, all the different things that are actually going to make that athlete stand out in terms of building a brand is going to be the key. So this is a good way for young athletes. And like I said, I'm talking to parents today. So if you're an athlete watching this, hey, it is what it is. But parents, a good way to keep your student athlete in alignment, meaning if they are going to be on social, how to do the right thing. When they're out in the streets or they're out hanging out with their friends, if they're focusing on their brand, then they're going to know they're not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize or tarnish or make that brand look bad. So that's why I really like branding for my student athletes as the first step, because to me, that kind of just keeps them in a line. So if you go to your student athlete, you say, hey, you got to build your brand. If you're trying to play college ball, you want to get a scholarship, you got all this NIL stuff going on now. If you want to be a part of that, you have to build what? Your brand. So if you drive that point home, I think it's going to really help your student athlete be successful in the long run, but it's also going to help them keep them in alignment. And that's part of what we're trying to accomplish here. And if you're a parent, I'm a parent, we get it. So keeping them in alignment is probably the hardest job we have. But if we focus on the brand, it will make it a lot easier, a lot easier. Number 2, let's get into it. Number 2 is the marketing. Now I'm a business guy. I'm an entrepreneur, right? I have multiple businesses, so I understand marketing from a different perspective. That's from more the entrepreneur perspective. But now in the sense of what we're trying to accomplish, which is a Division One scholarship, we're going to look at marketing totally different. We're going to look at marketing as where does your student athlete need to be in order to generate more exposure and to be associated with those higher level athletes. So for example, marketing for a student athlete could be, there's a Elite 11 quarterback camp, for example. Getting that invite or working to get that invite, now they're a part of that selective crew, right? So that's going to be great for the brand, and it's going to be great marketing because the exposure of being at that event is going to be great. So if you're a basketball player, for example, you're on an AAU team, a travel team, you really want to be on a team that's going to play against the highest level of competition. And the reason is because that's going to get you the most marketing, the most exposure. When people see you on the court with these high level athletes and you're developing, you're getting better, you're improving, you're doing your thing out there, it's going to make you look that much better. So when I talk marketing with student athletes, I'm not talking about like an ad agency. I'm not talking about commercials. I'm not talking about selling anything. I'm talking about just marketing themselves, meaning being in the right situation, being at the right events. If you're a freshman, marketing could be, hey, coach, could I be on the sidelines for the varsity game? I just want to be on the sideline so I can get a feel. But just seeing you on the sideline or seeing you on the bench, even though you're not on the team, you're not suited up, you're not ready to play, that's okay. But you're still going to be associated with that varsity team. And it's also going to help you prepare for when you're ready for that level. So number 2 is going to be the marketing. Be very, very conscious of it. Don't just go to things because you got the invite. Do your research, do your due diligence. You know, as a parent, you should be looking at this for your student athlete to say, okay, why should we go to this camp? Okay, here's what they say are the benefits. These coaches are going to be there. This is going to be there. We're going to do this. Got it. All great. But I need you to do your own research, your own due diligence to see what is the true benefit of attending that event. And number 1, is it going to enhance my student athlete's brand? Is it going to enhance my student athlete's marketing? Right? So those are your first 2. Now, number 3, third and final, recruiting. Now you're recruiting. And I don't know why I draw boxes around everything, but that's just what I do. It's just how my brain works. Maybe so I can connect them like this. I don't know why, but I do it. So, and I'm not going to stop. So it is what it is. Now, recruiting is the last one on here, and it's the last one for a reason. We're building our brand. We're marketing, meaning we're at the right events. We're at the right camps. We're at the right showcase. We're doing it. We're out there. We're putting ourselves out there. Now we're going to get into the recruiting. The recruiting is where you actually take time to communicate with the college coaches directly. That could be at a showcase where college coaches are attending. That could be when college coaches start coming to your high school, you know, during the evaluation periods and contact periods and things like that. It can be you sitting down, writing 10 emails a week. You know what I mean? And doing it every single week throughout your entire student athlete journey so you could help with your own recruiting process. There's things that you can do as a parent. There's things that you can do. You know, you could send that initial email to introduce your student athlete to a college coach. You know, most of the time they'd rather hear from the student athlete, but there's nothing wrong with a parent initiating that. So there's things that we can do. What I would say, this is a very sensitive area, but when it comes to recruiting services, things like that, NCSA, you don't need that. You really don't. All you need is the guidance and the right steps, and you could literally do it yourself. And when you think you're paying a company like NCSA to do it for you, in reality is they're not doing it for you. They're putting you in a database and hoping for the best. All right, so we're just gonna stay away from that. We don't need that at all. If anything, when it comes to recruiting, you can create your own recruiting strategy. And I'm telling you, strategy in recruiting can be as simple as sending out 25 emails every single week and then following up after that. And then when you don't get a reply, send them another one. Updating your highlight video, sending the new clip. Hey, coach, here's my newest highlight video from the tournament last weekend. These are all things that student athletes are able to do to help increase that exposure. Social media. You think about Twitter, for example. Twitter is a haven for college coaches. I would say 90% of college coaches are hanging out on Twitter. That way you could DM that coach, you could send them a direct message, you could tag them, you could do a lot of different things in order to help your own recruiting. So now, let's bring this all back together because I want you to see how this all goes hand in hand. If you start off by focusing on your brand, building that brand, getting that done, becoming that person that everyone knows, hey man, this is one of the best athletes in the city, one of the best athletes in the state. You're building that brand. Your character is being shown. You know, your people are seeing your community outreach. You know, if you go to church on a weekend, whatever it is that you're doing that makes you, that you're willing to share, that's going to all go towards building your brand, which is number 1. Number 2 is our marketing. Marketing in this case is, what are you doing? What events are you at? It's just kind of like a business when they go out to an event or an expo. You know, you want to be there as a vendor because your audience is there. Very similar. So with the marketing with this is going to be, I want to go to the events that are going to increase my brand and get me more exposure, which is going to lean towards my marketing. Number 3, our last one, is the recruiting. So once you have that brand established, that brand is being built. And remember, the branding is not a thing that you're going to get to and you're at the top. It's going to be continuous and ongoing. Then you're going to really lock in your marketing, lock in your strategy. What events, what games, what are you going to do? Where are you going to participate at? And then you're going to bring that home with the recruiting. And now once you tie all 3 of these together, you're on your way to the next level. You're on your way to that Division I scholarship. But trust me, it is not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. Here's a number for you. 500,000 athletes, student athletes, are trying to get scholarships. 500,000. Now, of course, you got to break that into sports and, football, basketball, baseball, all the different sports. But there's 500,000 in the United States. How many of them actually get scholarships, full ride scholarships? 2%. 2% is the number of student athletes that receive full ride scholarships in order to play at the collegiate level. That's it. So now you understand why these three are so important. This is who you're in competition with. This is the percentage of you that will accomplish this goal. These are the three things that can make sure you are one of those athletes and you get there. Now, as a parent, if you need help with this process, if you feel like you need more strategy, more detail, I want you to do me one favor. Just shoot me a DM and just put the word more info. And I'm going to send you links to other videos that are going to help educate you on the process. I'm going to send you access to our insider group, which is just a simple email list to where you can reach out to me directly and ask questions about your individual athlete. And then I'll even show you the different things that we do, that we offer to help you with your branding, your marketing, and your recruiting. Not a service. That's not what we're doing. I'm a consultant. I help. I guide you. I show you the steps, and then it's up to you to actually execute. So if that's something you're interested in, shoot me a DM and just put more info, more information. That's all I need, and I'll get you the information. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you have not. And I need you to share this video with somebody that needs to hear it. And I'll see you on the next one.